Is there a chance of a reboot? The reality is that this is a very difficult question to answer since it depends on the decisions of millionaire companies that sometimes do not love the product and treat it as what it is, a product. With this, we do not want to blame the companies for the failure of any product, we only want to explain the reality that any series or movie lives. We must remember that all companies are made to generate income, and one of the rules of all companies is not to be too fond of the product. This is because sometimes products just don't work, and you have to let them die in order to move forward with another product that is getting results. Obviously, this doesn't mean that companies won't make an effort to try to grow the product, it just means that sometimes you have to accept defeat, and they can't do that if they have too much love for the product. Are we fans not accepting the failure of Power Rangers because of the love we have for the franchise? The reality is that this may be a possibility, but honestly, those of us who know the Power Rangers franchise know that it has a lot of potential to continue to grow, and perhaps this is what fills us with hope that they can create a reboot or something else that works. Here we come to another of the situations that happen with companies, and that is that sometimes they don't know the product they have very well. This leads them to make a lot of mistakes by taking the product down the wrong paths, and sometimes the data is not all you need to take a product to the next level. We must understand that all products are different, and when we talk about a series or movie, we must remember that this type of product is still art. This is the big difference, because art is very unpredictable, and you must know the audience very well in order to know which path to take. I suppose it has happened to you that some artist publishes a new musical album and the company in charge of promoting that album decides to give more importance to a specific song. This is the usual way in which a new music album is promoted. They select the song that they think is the best song of the album, and many times they are wrong. Not even the singer himself knows which song the audience is going to like the most, and although they can always have their predictions, the reality is that the audience is the one who decides. Something similar happens with movies, since producers create projects thinking that they are doing something incredible that the audience will like, and sometimes those projects simply fail. I think the best way to know if a project is going to be a success or a failure is to be on the other side, on the side of the audience, and be a fan of that franchise or project. This is why some companies do tests inviting some fans to see the projects when they are still in production, and also use the trailers to know the opinion of all those fans. We could see this with the first Sonic movie, that disaster that they were going to release, and when the producers saw the anger of the fans due to the horrible design of the character, they decided to change everything. This led them to a great success and to be able to create 3 movies. All this shows us that sometimes companies don't understand the product well, since any Sonic fan would have quickly known that this design was a disaster, and that the movie would have been a failure if they didn't fix that. That's why if Hasbro wanted to continue to generate revenue from Power Rangers, then they should listen to the fans, and while opinions are divided, it's pretty clear that most of the fans are adults. This means they should create a quality product and target a different audience. By this I don't mean that the only option is to create a dark and bloody reboot. It means that they simply have to change the formula of what they have been doing for 30 years. To answer the question we asked at the beginning of this video about the possibilities of a reboot, I can tell you that the answer is yes. I think there is still a chance for Hasbro to reboot the franchise. Even though we have seen a lot of negative changes during this time, the reality is that in order to build something, sometimes you have to destroy it first, and that moment of destruction hurts a lot. If Hasbro did not want to continue with the franchise, then the simplest way would have been to sell it, and they have not wanted to do that. We understand that they have been allowing other companies to be able to create Power Ranger stuff, but that may also mean another way to let go of the old in order to have room to start the new. We also know that the planned reboot with Jonathan and Jenny may be completely cancelled, but that doesn't mean they're not thinking about another project. Canceling a project is very common in Hollywood, and for these companies it is also very common to spend money to develop a project and then cancel it. All these big companies would rather cancel a project and lose a little money than move forward with a project that they think is going to be a failure because they are going to lose a lot of money. This is where the opinion of all the fans comes in, since there are projects that are possibly good, but sometimes they get cancelled because the companies think it is going to fail, and maybe they are wrong. I don't really blame them, since, as I said at the beginning, it is very difficult to know if an art project is going to be a success or fail, and it is even more difficult to know when you are not a fan of that franchise. What do the fans want? This is the question that some companies don't ask themselves, and we all know what the fans want. For now, the opinions are divided, but we are going to mention the 3 options that fans suggest the most for the future of Power Rangers. These opinions are based on all the comments that you write in this channel and all the opinions that I read daily in the social media. For now, the option with the most comments is to create a reboot with a darker plot and more serious special effects so that everything is directed to an adult audience. Something quite similar to what they did in the 2017 movie, but with more of the essence of Power Rangers. It's basically a mix between the 2017 movie and the 1995 movie. The next option that fans are talking about is to continue with the same universe that we have known all our lives, but making some changes to it like they did in Cosmic Fury and the special episode. This is another good option, since they could continue using characters we already know, but with the necessary modifications in the story so that it is no longer a children's series, and perhaps it could have a more entertaining drama for adults. In the special episode they managed to create a deeper story with more adult themes, and in Cosmic Fury they created a series with all the episodes connected, something never seen before in Power Rangers. The third option is that they start translating the Sentai into different languages and let the Power Rangers franchise die. Obviously this isn't the most popular option, but it's also an option I've seen a lot in the comments and on social media. Any of these 3 options will continue to generate revenue for Hasbro, but we must admit that the first option is the riskiest, although it may be the most successful. Perhaps continuing with the universe, we know by creating series similar to Cosmic Fury and the special episode is a good change, but in the long term it is something that will not have a future. However, creating a new universe opens up a world full of possibilities, and if that new universe is successful, then the franchise will reach the next level. Write in the comments your opinion on these 3 options, like this video and subscribe for a Power Rangers reboot.